A lot of guys are getting it. I could never have imagined that people would get it. And they're putting in the comments saying, thanks, I've learned a lot from your videos. That makes me feel really good. I'm glad I can be helping in that way. Is Brainchip a pump and dump? That's what we want to talk about in today's video and figure out how we can spot these trends earlier on. Now I'm going to go through and give examples from previous videos that I've done on the channel and just explain the trade process along the way, because it's a reality that a lot of people watching these videos are actually trying to trade the market and not invest. Long-term investment, basically we would not be looking at these sorts of stocks, and I'll explain that in a little bit. There's nothing wrong with either. There are different stages in our investment journey. Some stages we are in a growth phase where we want to get as much money as quick as possible, and then other stages in our investment journey we would just want to store that money somewhere that we know is reasonably safe, that doesn't have high volatility, produces a dividend, some sort of income, and we can just get on with the rest of our lives. So that's what I really want to focus on today, is finding these stocks, understanding how they come about. We're looking at Brainchip as the example today because it's hot, because it has a great chart that we can analyze and learn from. And basically, it's just a good example for us to understand the difference between trading and investing. Now, if you're new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button here. It's something that you can do for free. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you hate the look of my videos in a day's time or a week's time, you can always hit unsubscribe. Like the video up if you're down there already, just takes a second, and again, just goes a long way to helping the channel out for absolutely free. If you are watching this video as the premiere, I'd like to do these every time, get these videos out live with you guys so I can chat with you in the comments. That's great work. I really appreciate your support, and as my show of thank you, they're all ad-free as a premiere. After that, ads go in it. It's all free. You guys can just click next on the ads. You don't have to watch them. So with that said, let's move across in how these videos work. And I just wanted to mention a quick thing before we get into today's video. I did a video yesterday on Bitcoin and looking at other ways that you can basically invest in cryptocurrencies and with stable coins and earn yourself 12% interest on your Aussie or US dollars. Now that is as a cryptocurrency, but they are stable against those currencies. You can basically just click on this link. It's in the description. Go through. It's a crypto debit card. If you want to know more, let me know in the comments, but otherwise you got that option there, and $50 free if you sign up and stake a little bit of their token. 12%. I think that's pretty good. I wouldn't bet the house on it, but it's something that you can do and learn a bit more about the space. So heading back, look, I like to throw a few little things in here that are funny. If you want, you can always skip all these parts. I put all of the timestamps in the description down below as well, so you can skip ahead to any part of the video and back to it if you want to use it as some sort of research for later on. Now, I've got some funny comments here. This one, talking about my buy Bitcoin video. If you do want to buy Bitcoin, I've got a full tutorial video on the channel. It says, this is a total scam. 100% of these people should be put on a boat and never allowed to return. Where shall we go? I mean, my grandparents came over here on a boat, so you know, this is where they've ended up, and that's why I'm here. Anyway, moving on, Brainchip. We are going to go through some of this stuff. Now, I've just got a few little details here. These are my notes, so share that with you. Let's move on to Brainchip and just talk about the times that we've mentioned it on the channel. Now, I've mentioned it once more before this, and that was the first time where I was looking at these as being really huge spikes in the market, and I'll show you that on the chart and when we talked about it. Then we talked about it as a potential trade, and then we also talked about it as it was starting to really heat up. Now we're at the 11th of September. This is Friday. At the moment, Brainchip is somewhere around 68 cents, so it has had a little bit of a drop. With this video, I'm not trying to be an alarmist. It is really just about identifying these and understanding how these trades work, because the comments that have come through are crazy. People are asking me when to sell. I'm not going to tell you when to sell. I'm not going to tell you when to buy. This is not financial advice. Come on, guys. I know most of you watching it and commenting are pretty good, but honestly, if you're coming here and asking people how to trade, you need to do some more education and probably not put your own money into it, because your nerves are way too bloody high to be trading or investing. Quickly, just have a quick look at the price. Where are we? 66 cents. This has dropped a little bit before before I started making the video. I was around 68, 69. So I put this out yesterday. BRN exploded out of the gates on the open. That was yesterday. So it was at around 88 cents. I think it was pushing 90 cents at the time. And I just wanted to poll people and see what they thought. 18% said it would go above $1. 16% said it would go below 70 cents. And I chose that range of 70 to 99 cents because that's kind of where it was trading at this hype stage. Now, the vast majority of people thought it would close in that area, and that's what's happened. And basically, it looks like it will close below 70 cents today. It didn't make it over $1. I don't think it will this time round, but you're not really going to lose out much if it does. So let's move on to the videos that I put out 5 or 6 weeks ago. This was talking about Brainchip. If you want, I'm not going to play them because I don't want to make this video too long, but basically we talked about this as a trade at around 21 cents entering at that point. And you can see this on the chart there. All of my history has been noted on the channel. Some things we miss, like I've got here, some things we get really well. You're never going to get everything 100%. So go back and check those out and learn a bit from the trade as it progresses. I say that because this is the trading, the market psychology of the whole space. When you're going on your journey as a trader will take you through many emotions, and you have to be able to handle these. Now, this has just come from my experience. I'm not 100% getting this down pat like an absolute legendary pro. I'm learning this as I go myself, but these are the things that I've learned along the way. I need to have a high tolerance to my nerves. That goes at the FOMO at the top, that goes at the FUD at the bottom. FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And we just have to face it. If you are asking for tips, you have not challenged, you haven't challenged yourself enough with these nerves and you don't know how to handle them. So what I want to do is teach you how to break these trades down so that you don't lose your nerve, you don't lose your patience with these sorts of investments. Let's have a look at the Wall Street cheat sheet. If you've never seen this before, this thing is an awesome tool. Check it out. Just type it into Google. There are plenty of them. This takes you on the journey itself through stocks, through any market that you're investing in. There's the disbelief stage, hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria. Most people will be messaging me on social media at this stage. The belief, the thrill, the euphoria. That's right at the end. This is where BRN is right now. And I think we're going through this. Then we will come back to complacency. Just need to cool off. We're just going to wait. But before too long, it will dump. Then there'll be anxiety. Then there'll be denial. Then there'll be panic, capitulation, anger. And then you go through this long period of being really pissed at the stock and it's never coming back. Now that is the time that smart money gets into these stocks or these investments. And then they wait for it to rise again, go through disbelief. Everyone's like, no, it's not going to happen this time. And then hope, oh, maybe we can. And so on. The cycle repeats. That's what we are seeing in Brainchip. So let's go across to Brainchip now, finally at the chart. Pretty much this is it. You can see that. It looks very similar to this Wall Street cheat sheet. Look at that, straight up. So if you remember back to those videos back in early August, we were looking at this area just through here. So I'll expand that out. We were making the videos and it was sitting around 17 or 18 cents. And we're looking at this to come back to around 13 or 14. It never did, but this is how trading works. You have to be ready for it to go the other way, to go against you. And we looked at this high, a break of this high would be an entry. So if you were trading it, technically you wouldn't have got in until at least the open, which was 22.5 cents, which is a cent above the high. And you could still be in that stock until now, and that's at 66. So basically you got triple. You've gone 22, 44, 66. If that's not good enough for you, I don't know what is. It did go to 88. It did go a little bit higher than that. So you could have had 4 times your money if you were able to hold the nerve through and get out. But if you wanted something mechanical so that you don't have to rely on the nerve so much, then it's just a simple swing trade setup. And like I said, every time, every video, you can go back and it's just a matter of holding underneath these swings. You can see these one-day swings have not been broken and we are still up here. Now this is a long way from that swing there. You could hold in, this thing might bounce back, create another swing, create another low here, but there are other strategies to get out as these markets get super, super hot. These were the ranges back when we were first looking at it. Some people mentioned it even earlier on in July, which was an awesome time, 10 cents. And the ranges are tiny. The day's range was about 2 or 3 cents a day. The worst it got was 4.5 cents. But now we are looking at days that are, look at the other day, This thing was from 62 cents to 97 cents. Do you think that's sustainable? That's 35 cents in a day when the stock wasn't even trading at 30 cents not too long ago. So these are the times, this is when the trading plan changes and you got to use the euphoric trading plan. Something that can be added in here is instead of leaving the stop below the swings, you can start to bring it up below the gaps. And you can see this market gapped here. If you want to learn more about that, let me know in the comments down below and we can go through that in another technical analysis video, which I have done on a live stream previously, so you can check that out on the channel. I've gone through and just taught the basics of this chart, looking at bars, looking at Fibonacci retracements, trend lines, horizontal trends, support and resistance, and then learning how to use that in your own trading. A lot of guys are getting it. I could never have imagined that people would get it, and they're putting in the comments saying, thanks, I've learned a lot from your videos. That makes me feel really good. I'm glad I can be helping in that way. So in terms of this as a trade, because unfortunately, this to me is not an investment. This is literally just get in, trade it, get out. An investment is a lot slower, a lot longer term. You're going to get burnt and stuff like this. It's going to ruin your nerves as a new person. If it's an investment, you definitely want to be buying in early and just riding this thing out. So the other thing I was saying was to move the stops up as an advanced trade management strategy. It's quite advanced because it takes a lot of nerve and you've got to be checking the market. So there's a gap. The stop could be placed underneath the close, because essentially the meaning behind this is if the market comes back and closes this gap, it means that the steam is running out and that it's getting a little bit weaker. It's not saying it's over, but it is getting a bit weaker. So if that's to occur, then we could think, and the scenario, the probabilities are that this market could turn against us soon. Now that leaves a lot on the table, but if you've gotten in early because you're a good trader, then you're still making a profit. You're not going to go broke making a very good profit of 200-300%. It's crazy. Everyone wants to try and sell this at the top. That's one trade management strategy. Now, the other one is looking at the close or then getting intraday. Now, we could put this down to an hourly chart, but that would come back to back testing. And right now, I don't think there's a way we could actually really look at this. I think it's beyond the scope of this video because there are so many intricate details here to be able to get out here as opposed to down here or down here. There's too many what ifs in that, but it is something to consider for a future video or for your own research right now. If it was me, I would probably be hanging around the lows. If not, I would be holding it and get out as this market broke the closes. I think that is probably a reasonable level that we could get out because this market has just gone absolutely bonkers. And I think it's just a good time to exit, in my opinion, not financial advice. Now, how can we spot this? That's what you all came here for. Is this a pump and dump? Like I said, I don't think, technically speaking, we don't have any reason to believe it's a pump and dump, that it's like insider trading. What is a pump and dump? Let's have a quick look. Is a form of securities fraud that involves artificially inflating the price of an owned stock through false and misleading positive statements in order to sell the cheaply purchased stock at a higher price. So I don't think they've done anything like that. I couldn't tell you for sure, but in terms of the chart pattern, it definitely looks extremely overbought. And I think there is a big dip incoming, similar to what we saw going back quite a few years now. Now, that's not to say that the company's fundamentals have changed at all from what they were 3-4 months ago. This is just what markets do. Pump and a dump. Tries to repeat, can't, and it just fades out. The interest in the stock is lost. I think that's what we may see in this stock. I think there's more likely that that's what we will see than this thing just settle out way up here and then take off again. More often than not, that's what will happen, okay? Especially with let me add to that, with the recession and the uncertainty, you factor that into the market and the amount of people that we need into the market to be able to continue buying the stock for it to go up. I think you're playing the odds against you at this point. Pump and dump, that's my warning to newbie investors, to traders who are holding. I would really caution on the side of probably not getting into a trade at this point. only because of educating yourself in terms of these sorts of charts. Again, look, if we want to have a call to the upside, why this could continue going up, is that we got a high up here. And if it came back to retest the high and balance out and start to create an area of support, then that could be a reason for it to continue up. But there doesn't look like there was that much going on up these areas. I would more consider that we would probably come back to these 26-cent levels, if not a little further down at 17 at some point. It sounds crazy, but so does going to 94 cents. That sounded crazy back at 5 cents, right? Now, wrap that one up there, guys. It was supposed to be a quick one today. I know it's gone quite long, but I think there is so much information wrapped up in this that we can learn from, and I just got overly excited to talk about a stock that has a chart looking like this, a real life case example that we can go through in real time. I'll leave it there. Stick around on the channel, like the video up, subscribe. I've got plenty more videos coming up, ASX stocks, cryptocurrencies, economic market cycles, the property cycle, all that sort of stuff. I've got some interviews coming up with other property channels. And if you want to see other interviews with other YouTubers, let me know in the comments down below, and go and post on their channels as well. Do an interview with Jason and let's talk about finances, investing in Australia, and of course overseas. I would absolutely love that. If you couldn't already tell, I can talk underwater. I'll wrap it up there. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks again for joining me on the channel. Links are in the description for 12% returns on your cryptocurrencies. Check it out. Catch you at the next video, guys. I appreciate your support. Have a great weekend, and I'll stop talking right here. Until next time, have more fun to get more done.